In today's episode, when I use Zoom, other end user cannot hear or see me, but I can hear and see them. Give the user full admin permissions. Can you reset my password? Users lie. My job as a help desk ticket descrambler. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. When I use Zoom, other end user cannot hear or see me, but I can hear and see them. In my organization, I support all communication application tools, and among other things. You have to understand one thing about me. If it doesn't fall under my support group, I am not doing it. 'Cause you aren't paying me to do anything else outside my job role. Unless you're extremely nice, then maybe I'll go out of my way for you. Today we're going to talk about Zoom. Anyways, the user stated that she had talked to 3 other reps today, and they could not figure out what the issue was. That's got to be rough considering it takes an hour just to get through to my support line. So if you had to be transfer, you're already a couple hours into the call. So at this point she already annoyed but understandable. I got her to calm down a bit and told her I'll do what I can, and let's focus on the issue at hand. So I get the IP address and remote into her laptop. Right when I got into her laptop, I noticed something odd. The mouse pointer was annoyingly shaking. So I inquire with the user what that was about. She said she doesn't know, but it seems that whenever one of our agents remote to her laptop it just shakes like that. Whatever, not my issue right now. Clue number 1. Let me check out the Skype setting just to make sure your speakers and microphone is working properly. That's strange. Your Skype is saying your speakers and microphone cannot be found. Clue number 2. Let's go see what's going on with the sound setting in the control panel. That's odd, your microphone not listed here. Also, your speakers say remote speaker. Clue number 3. At this point, I am stumped. Unsure why the speaker is saying remote speaker and why the microphone is missing. So I started to ask general questions. Did you update your laptop recently? No. When was the last time this all worked properly? Before I started working remotely. It worked just fine at the office. I only have this issue when I work remotely. Do you use a VDI, virtual desktop interface? I don't know what that is. I glance over at her profile. Nothing showing that she uses a VDI. I use a docking station, could that be causing the issue? She said. No, but let's go ahead and remove it from the docking station, and let's see what happened. Nothing changed when the laptop was removed from the docking station. Eventually, she kept saying something about I logged into my desktop several times throughout our conversation. Clue number 4. At first, I'm like, what is she talking about? Everyone needed to log into their desktop to work. Why does she keep saying she logged into her desktop? Then it hit me, I think she is using another type of VDI that is not logged into her profile. I spent about 10 minutes trying very hard to explain to her what a VDI is. The whole time, she kept denying that she is not logged into a VDI. After some back and forth, I finally got to her. I was able to get the IP address and remote into her laptop. Turns out she was using an application called Remote Desktop, and that was why she kept saying I logged into my desktop. To be fair, I did not know team members were still using these applications considering we have better tech. Explain to her slowly, in great details, that she cannot make Zoom or Skype calls inside the VDI, because it will not capture her microphone. If there was a way to fix this. It's still out of my support group. Hardware and application can handle this. Then she asked why the other agent couldn't figure this out. I told her it's because most likely no one really knew you were using a VDI. Had I not pressed for more info from you, I would assume it would be a hardware issue. As I was ready to let the user go, I just have to know. Why are you logging into the remote desktop application? She went on a very long story about how she's been here for so long, and she's been logging into the remote desktop and had stored data file in that environment and need to get to them. Even then, it makes no sense why she still need to log into the remote desktop while she was at the office. So she is either restricted to store file on her local drive, or she just making her job harder than it needed to be. As far as I know, a restriction did not exist. Whatever, not my place to tell peoples how to do their job. Give the user full admin permissions. While working for a MSP, one of our clients installed a new accounting suite onto their servers that required a specific path of permission set for the application to work from the user's machine. Initial testing worked well and the head of finance could work without issues, so we decided to roll out the software to the rest of the team. The vendor created the accounts and did a basic connection test to see if the application was loading, which it did. Next day I'm handed a ticket stating that they can connect to the system, but they can't pull reports. Check all the settings the vendor sent us and they all match, compare it to the manager's permissions that we know is working and they all match. Cool, must be a vendor side issue, so I'll send an email to their support and get them to just have a look. Nope, nothing wrong with the software, must be a local server issue. Hasn't even looked at the issue on the server, just outright tells me their software is working correctly. Could it be a bad permission or incorrect grouping or something like that? We all miss these things from time to time. Nope, software is working fine, give the user more permissions on the server. This went back and forth for like 3 days, managed to get a workaround by giving some users a RDP connection to the server so they can work from the actual server on the support account. Cringe, before I lost all patience and told them I would fix their software as they don't seem to be able to. Borrowed the manager's login details as he had some backend access I couldn't get with the support account and started digging. Found a section where they had created a group for access to the reports that should have been linked to the initial group created for the users, but had basically been left floating on the back end doing nothing. Manager wasn't even aware that this was a thing they could do, as the vendor told them to call them whenever a new user needed access. Linked the groups and everything started working like it was meant to. The vendor then tried to get our access banned from their server cause we are fiddling with vendor-only settings. The CEO of our client company ripped into them, threatening them with a suit for breach of contract. Sometimes I love my job. Can you reset my password? Users lie. Copied directly from my chat log. User, older, kind of grouchy, non-tech, anti-computer user. Me, self-explanatory. User, please change my app password and let me know what you changed it to. Thanks, I cannot log into app on my computer after going to migrate, and now the old computer is messed up. Me, it should be XYZ123. User, it's not working. Me, with the employee number correct? User, I'm a super user, would it be something different? Me, if you are on your computer, why don't you have proxy login turned on? Then no password is needed unless you are on a shared workstation. User, it was turned on, then I turned it off because it wasn't letting me in. Now I don't know the password until I just tried XYZ123. Me, are you logged into the computer with your company ID? User, yes. Me, then proxy should work. What error is it giving you? Are you authenticated through to the network? User, I just sent you the error in an email. User, yes, I'm authenticated to the network. Me, having checked my email and seeing what she sent me, that's not a password issue. A password issue would say invalid login. What network are you connected to for your wireless? User, I'm not wireless. I'm connected with a cable. Me, I roll. What is the network name though? User, company network. Me, can you connect to any of the company websites? Or SAP? User, got it. My network was not authenticated. Once I connected, it was all good. Me, well, that's an hour of my life I won't get back. My job as a help desk ticket descrambler. I work L2 desktop support in the public sector. My team often gets confusing tickets from our service desk. I'm the poor soul who has to interpret these tickets and direct them to the right spot. No one else wants to do it, due to them, and I get paid to work my job, not decrypt and interpret help desk tickets. However, if the tickets don't make sense, the work doesn't get done. I've talked to the help desk lead, but she says that it's our job to handle tickets and not ask the help desk for some needed context. This came to a head yesterday when we got a ticket with a generic title and a screenshot. It had the user's name, and that was about it. I asked the person who took the call for more information and context, alongside what troubleshooting was done. They stated the user just got an error, the call agent took a screenshot, and kicked the ticket our way. I asked what troubleshooting they advised before send the ticket over, but all I got was a "we are busy, and we don't have the time." I know that trying to get more information was a fool's errand, so I call the user on the ticket. The user just needed to log into Office. The error was just related to opening a shared inbox. The user just wasn't logged in to get to the email servers. I then let the call agent know the solution. They didn't respond.